Hello, welcome to another episode of SimpliFinance. This is Shane White, your host, and I got my good buddy Zach Viaches here with us today from Brighton, Michigan. Zach, you want to say hello and give a little intro about yourself?
For sure. So yeah, Zach Viaches. I met Shane back in 2014 in onboarding at our first job together. It was me, him, and one other friend of ours. We all met day one, and we were pretty much close the full 2 years that we worked at that company. And then after that, we kind of split ways and went to different jobs, but we still kept in touch all this time. But yeah, Shane's a finance guy. I just spend the money I'm in purchasing. So that's about it.
That's right. Okay, awesome. Yeah, and Zach now works for Toyota, so he's big in the car industry now. Well, he always has been. Engines to cars or all kinds of stuff now.
That's
I'm
right.
talking like I know what you are purchasing, but in general.
Oh yeah.
No, but thanks for coming on, man. It was I was talking before we started recording that you're my third person on the podcast, and I'm hope you and I have a good relationship of just bantering. So I figured this would be a fun one. We can just kind of shoot the shit and
Yeah.
not get too into the seriousness that sometimes happens on these.
Yeah, I'm happy to be on here. I'm excited. I like just going back and forth anyway. I mean, it was you and John really that like we started the whole investing mindset. Like before you guys, I had not only no knowledge but no interest like in investing.
Okay, yeah.
That's straight up being honest. Like
I guess I didn't even know that.
Shit.
Yeah.
So,
no,
like,
I remember. I didn't know you didn't have an interest in it before. That's so interesting.
Didn't care. But then we started talking about it more and more, and it was like, my first impression was like, this is kind of like just like a businessman's gambling. Like if you are not careful, you could totally just be that guy that's like doing it day trading and trying to make a buck, Nithin.
I don't say names, but Nithin.
That's all right. No last names, but man,
he was our friend who decided to put all of his
trading.
401k savings into GoPro. You remember that? He was like, I'm going to buy GoPro IPO with like $30,000.
Yes, I remember.
I'm supposed to be saving for retirement.
We were at the gym down in Columbus, and like we're sitting there, and the market's closed, and he's on his phone sweating bullets, not lifting a weight because he's being lazy, but he's sweating watching the after hours market just tank, and he's like, "Oh my gosh!" And I mean, we had all bought into it, if you remember. Like we all put a little. And
I'm sure you haven't listened to very many of my episodes, but I did a whole episode on like my worst investment strategy of all time, and it was GoPro. And I have like a joke with like I have a Slack group chat at work, and we always joke about like our worst and best things. And like I get a GoPro joke in there every day. Someone sends it to me, like, "Dude, GoPro's popping. Are you getting in? Are you on that?" I'm like, "Fuck no, fuck those guys."
Such a trash ass move, but it was like it was one of my first moves. I can't remember what else I bought.
It was funny to give a little background to anyone listening to this. Me and Zach and a couple of our buddies at Cummins like all decided that we were going to invest. I think it was IPO day, wasn't it? We like all threw money at like the IPO.
I don't know if it was IPO because they were already traded. Like we bought.
Oh, were they?
Okay. No, it was a big earnings announcement.
Fuck, that's right.
Which is like the biggest. You're right. No, I feel like
we all threw a ton of money at it. It just tanked. Like just absolutely imploded. There was nothing left. It just fell apart.
We were so new to it, and we were so banking on that happening. We all had this mindset that it was like a for sure thing, which should have been a huge red flag. But we're like, nope, it can't lose. Like, put your money in. It's not going to lose. Like what?
I don't even know what made us think it was going to for sure be a win. I don't remember if it was like someone thought they had info or something. Dumb.
I feel like it was a total noob lack of research.
We maybe
read a couple hot articles. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone thought GoPros were like the hot thing, maybe because this was like in 2014.
It had to have been probably like fall of 2014.
Right?
Yeah,
that's when we started. I think was like we started in Cummins in June.
Yep. So probably by fall we were probably getting into it. But yeah, man, that was funny. Total loss, but whatever.
Oh yeah, I looked back because I remember we were using. I think you used the same one. I used Scott Trade.
Yep.
When it was like commission, and I looked through I got like my tax return or whatever. I found it the other day because I was curious, and I remember I bought Microsoft. That was like my big win at the time. Made like $40.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was like $400. I think we put like 401 and 400 another or something like that.
Yeah, it was something like that.
I don't think I did Microsoft.
But then slowly after, and I've talked about this on here before, is we started Motif.
Oh yeah.
I mean that was like some serious
I just
work.
sold that. Like I sold that like maybe a month or two ago. I texted you. I was like, "Do you still have
that's
yours?"
right.
And you're like,
Yeah,
"I sold that a long time ago." I'm like,
yeah.
"Oh,
Well, I decided to sell it when we bought the house. I remember being like, I think I just ended up putting it in my savings, which is probably stupid. But I remember
yeah,
being like, oh, you know, we're like draining our savings to get the house, so
yeah."
let's just pull some of it. I'm like, it did its work. It made a bunch of money.
It did
Yeah,
great, but I haven't been putting anything into it, so I'm like, I just don't even want to look at another app. Honestly, that's what it was. I'm
No.
like, I want everything in one spot, and I'm like, I'm going to Robinhood. I'm just getting out of this. So I took, what did I do with it? I took it out of the Motif and bought a share of Amazon. It's
Oh,
like
hell yeah.
17 or 1800 bucks or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Whatever.
Dude, that's probably returned a lot since you bought it,
It's been
because
great.
that's on
Yeah.
fire. Yeah. I'm thinking
Yeah.
about buying more. Have you unlocked on Robinhood partial shares?
I heard you talking about that with Andrew.
Which is a game changer.
What
So
do
I
you,
can just
I
put
get
like
what it,
$5 at Amazon.
yeah, I think I get the concept, but what do you have to do to unlock it? Just
I don't know. I think if anything, go in your settings and there's like, do you have options unlocked?
Yes. So I got into that too. I think I texted you maybe 6 months ago or so when me and a couple of buddies, we just same stupid shit like we did with GoPro. Same shit. I kid you not.
Money at it.
Yeah, we're gonna go down these options. It's gonna be sick. We're gonna hit it huge. Like I've learned nothing. And it didn't work. But the concept of option trading is still really new to me. So like I did some research to try and figure out what it was before we did it at least. But that was a cool thing that's on there now. But I don't know about the partial. I don't think I have it.
I feel like I got on a waiting list and I got approved. You know, all those things have like waiting lists.
Yeah,
like
even like the options
randomly.
one. Yeah, even the options one, it was like a switch on off, and I was just like turned it on, then it was like we'll let you know or something, and then it was fine. So it's probably the same thing.
I think it's the same. I'm trying to think because I remember like literally within 2 days of each other, I got like crypto unlocked, and then I got partial shares unlocked, and I didn't even remember like clicking yes on partial shares, which I mean at the time would have been, I don't know why I wouldn't have, but then I unlocked it and I was like, oh hell yeah, because I was thinking about like how many people want to invest in like Amazon, but you don't want to maybe throw like that much money at one share,
right?
So you can just buy, you can just like what I'm thinking is like slowly but surely every time I add money in my account, I'll probably have like a list of companies I want to add, and kind of like the Motif, I'll just probably be like boom, 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 for like all that money evenly. Yeah. And over time, that'll just add up to be, a lot of shares.
So then how does it like, okay, let's say you want to buy $1,000 share, but you want to throw $300 at it. So you get like a third of a share or so. And then what happens if you put in like another 300 two more times, then you're at 1,000? Is it just like, you just have one share? Like it does it for you? Or do you always have like 3/3?
Yeah, that's a really good question. You'll probably have, I bet. Well, so like I can pull mine up. I have
like someone's probably managing that, right?
I think in the way I read it on Robinhood, it sounds like even when you buy a partial share, they minimally have to buy one, and then they're splitting it within Robinhood.
Oh,
so Robinhood owns a share.
That makes sense.
You're splitting it, but like, okay, for a good example, like I just randomly bought some Amazon the other day, and I threw, how much money did I throw at this? I threw like literally $3 or something stupid. I just had like left over and I just like tossed it at Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
And so I have like 0.001039 shares. So like, I don't know if I'll ever get exactly one. I'll probably get like 1.001 or something. But it's gonna be made up of like all the different prices I bought it at.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But then I think what's confusing, I've not done this and then sold it, because then I would hope there's an option to like sell you can choose which one you want to sell, I would think.
Oh, so you could like,
right? So if you wanted to hold on to the like one you've made the most on, you could, or if you want to just make money now, you could sell that one. I would think you could be able to pick and choose.
Well, that's awesome though, because you're essentially accomplishing Motif, but you're not spending like, I think it was like $10 a move or something, or at least it was like $10 to rebalance.
It was like a $10 fee, I think.
Yeah. So it was like I never wanted to touch it because we didn't have that much money in there. I didn't feel like doing it. So, but sounds way better.
I rave about Robinhood, because the other thing too is liquidity is awesome. Like you can, I mean, in the past I usually have sold and then had money in my bank in 2 days.
Yeah.
So it's almost like cash. It's like having a savings account that actually can return. But I will tell you this: I think it was because of COVID, when things started really tanking right at the middle of March. I thought this was going to go way deeper, and I'm like, I feel like this is like, I'm thinking about like long term, like all these companies. So I sold a bunch of shit just to keep it in cash.
And I'm surprised you did that.
I know. I like looking back, it was probably like, now where it's sitting at, it's kind of like, I probably missed out on one of the better parts of the like rebound ever.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, like,
learned. If things are gonna come back from this, like in the future, like what the fuck am I ever gonna be worried about? So I think I'm trying to take it as like a chalk up learning lesson. But the problem I was gonna tell you was I think it was because they were overwhelmed when it happened. But I sold everything. Not everything, but I sold like a bunch.
Yeah.
Had it in cash, and I tried to bring it to our bank just to have it in the bank.
Yeah.
And it kept saying bank thing failed. It wouldn't let me like pull the money out. And I couldn't get a hold of someone.
Out of Robinhood?
Yeah. It wouldn't let me transfer it to my bank. It took 2.5 weeks to get someone to respond to me over email. And at that point, the market was back, and I was like, yo, guys, what the fuck? Like, if I would have known this, I would have just left it in. And they won't do anything. They were like, we're not even going to give you like a free stock or anything. They're just like,
I have to imagine they just, like you said, they got overwhelmed because everyone and their mother probably did what you did. They were probably like, fuck, I'm out. But I mean, with tons of money, and they were just like, they didn't know what to do probably.
100%.
That'd be my guess.
Yeah. In hindsight, and for anyone listening, I think that, it was probably a dumb move for me to sell it. It was funny though. It was like a perfect storm where me and Kelly have been trying to do this thing. Have you heard of a debt snowball before?
Someone just told me that.
It's like a Dave Ramsey concept.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I had like student loans, and I had a phone bill, like an iPhone that I was paying once a month.
Yeah.
And then I just took money out of our savings and like paid off the rest of my student loans.
Okay.
And I paid off the phone. So I was like done with both of those debts. And the only thing we had left was the Toyota that we just bought in the fall.
Oh, right.
And so the concept is you take like the phone bill was like $56. My student loans were like, I don't know, 350 or something like that.
Okay.
You take those two things and you add them up and put them on top of your Toyota bill. So you pay like whichever one has the lowest balance. You don't worry about rates. Just like dollar wise, what's left. You stack them from like least to highest.
Oh, okay. The whole life of the like how.
Yeah, like if I owe $30,000 on my Toyota, that goes above my house, and then like so on paper it was like my phone, my student loans, then my car, then the house was like our debt snowball list.
But so it's least to most.
Least to most, yes.
Because you had your phone on top. Okay.
Yeah. So I paid the phone off. I added that to the student loans. So then like instead of being $350, I'm paying like $425 a month. Okay,
so if you're paying $50 on a phone and $100 on a car, pay the phone off, but then pay $150 on the car.
Exactly. And then over time it's like this to you mentally and like in your budget, the same amount of money is going to it no matter what. It's like nothing's changing. In reality, most people would stop paying the student loans and then that would go in their bank or they'd spend it. So,
I see.
So then you can pay the car off a lot faster. And then like once the car's done, it's like shit, you put all that towards a house.
So the only thing I see what you're saying. That makes sense like to like get debt free, but then I would feel if I went down that path, I would feel like I'm never like getting ahead. Cause like when you hit the point of like, let's say you do that, you get your phone, then let's say you even get your car. Now you're going to start putting all that money towards the house. That is awesome. But when you get to that house mark, I would feel like, damn it, I'd rather have all of that going into my savings for, let's just say, the next house or like whatever, emergency fund, call it whatever you want, rather than just keep that flat line. Holy shit, now I'm paying like $3,000 worth of shit, but it's going towards my house, which is like paying yourself. Right. But then your savings account is just still like, you never feel like you're getting ahead, you know?
No, you're right. And so I should have said that differently too. Like once the house is the only thing left, you're supposed to, in theory, in his snowball thing, you're supposed to like then go back and then you like build up your emergency account.
Okay.
It's like 6 to 9 months. And then you do like, you max out 401ks and Roths again. And then you like, I'll share with you later, but there's like, I feel like I'm sounding like a Ramsey fanboy, but like it was funny. My whole point of the story was we had just done like a ton of those paying down the debts when this started. Yeah. So not that we were like in trouble from a savings account perspective, but I was like, oh, fuck, it's a little lower than I like want to be. And I was like, fuck, I'm just going to move this cash and put it in our check. Like, so I have it like broken out in my Excel sheet of like what our savings accounts at. And like this chunk was what I pulled out during the coronavirus. And I'm planning soon to just like put it all back in. I still haven't put a lot of it back in though.
Okay.
Now I'm like, well, fuck, it all came back.
Well, dude, I was about to pull my Robinhood. I'm not even down that much. I didn't look at my 401k because I have a decent amount of money in there, but I really was terrified to look. I'm like, I still haven't looked.
And you and I are so young that it shouldn't even matter. And I like saying, I'm not even going to look.
But like in the past, like you go, okay, last 1 month, I'm up 17%, 3 month, 14%, 1 year, 15%. Like you see like there's like a little dip, but it's not that.
But nothing much. That probably means you were really well diversified too.
Dude, I don't have that much. I'll read it off to you. I got Netflix still, Amazon, and this little dumbass startup company that I invested in that's done dog shit for the last 4 years.
I still have one of those. I think Tilray. Tilray is the one that like it's a marijuana company.
Okay.
I'm literally still down 85%. So I'm like, you know what? It's like $20 now. I'm like, I'm just gonna leave it in there until someday maybe it pops. I don't know.
Yeah.
But no, it's funny. I just and now we don't have to get all into the coronavirus thing, but like I don't know. I'm in the food industry. You're in the automotive industry.
Yeah.
Like I'm seeing things in the market consumption wise, or you're seeing sales, but like for us, we see like how many bars people buy a week.
Yeah.
And it's like it's like all tanking now. Like everyone's stocked up and now no one's buying as much as they were.
Yeah.
And the economy's doing the opposite. And I feel like what's funny was we started seeing this stock up before the economy crashed.
Mm-hmm.
So we started seeing this stock up of like everyone freaking out and trying to buy stuff. And no one had released earnings yet. So like no one knew the extravagance of like how well any of these grocery stores were doing or how well any of these online things were doing. And then as soon as people in the media caught on to that, the news turned to being like, everyone's freaking out. So then like everything crashed. And now everything's going up. And I feel like now it's like actually companies are running out of cash. It's like, how long can they do this for?
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I just have this feeling that's going to go back. We're going to see another huge dip because like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like the airlines have 25 fucking people on a flight. Like they don't have cash to do this further. I mean, they literally got billions from the government so they can last a while now.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man.
Maybe it's just going to be a lag. Like think about like, even just like all, what you want to call it, like retail stores, like fucking home goods. Like they're not open.
No.
Like they're just taking a hit.
I wonder if they're still paying any of their people. I don't know how that works.
I don't know. But I mean, in terms of like, even like when you take it down to like a savings account level. So like for us, we stocked up on all this food and shit, right?
Right.
But then we're not going anywhere. But since it's all like on credit cards, like I didn't really feel the benefits. Well, that's selfish to say. We didn't like feel a savings until now. Like just now I paid off a credit card that was like $300. That's usually $1,200.
Right.
You know, like everything's a lag. So it's like right now it's like, oh, now I'm like, Jesus, we're going to be putting away so much money these months because we're not going out to eat. We're not going out to booze. Like not doing anything.
We're just home.
My truck has been full for almost 2 months in the driveway.
That's crazy. Yeah.
It's like,
right. Think of that.
So I don't know, maybe like on that mindset of like that lag of what's happening on a personal level, maybe like the stores are going to not feel that for a month or two, where it's like, okay, they're closed right now, but they still have some cash, but they're going to burn through that. And then maybe what you're saying, maybe it's going to be like,
it just seems that way. I mean, I don't like the stock up stuff is only going to last us so long. If we don't open the economy back up, I just don't see. I don't know. I just don't see how that's not going to be a huge issue across the board. The only people that won't are like e-com based companies like Amazon. I mean, fuck. You can't get anything on Amazon for a month. I was looking at dumbbells just to buy more dumbbells, and it was like might deliver July 22nd. I'm like, holy shit! Like what?
It's like I don't even want to order them now.
No. So maybe, and that can maybe be a down. That could be actually bad if you think about it from that perspective. People normally like treat Amazon as like just like hit it, buy it, get it in 2 days. It's like so like it's almost like a virus in itself. Like you just like get addicted to hitting buy.
Well, you're so pumped about it being there so fast that like you could maybe get. Like you see, like you just did, you saw July 14th and it probably turned you off. You're like, no.
And it's honestly made me look at a lot of other places. Like I've been on Walmart.com, which I worked there and I never get on that. Right. And I've looked just to be like, I wonder if, I'm not going to lie. I mean, in Chicago, it's so you can imagine how expensive it is to get your haircut. Mm-hmm. I've been like, I need to just buy some clippers. I'm just going to buzz my head. Yeah.
Send it.
The Zach Viaches way. I'm like,
I should have sent you a picture. I have a picture on my phone. So this right now is long because if you can see,
that's long.
This is not finance related. This is like starting to recede a little bit.
A little receding there. Oh, that's new.
So I have been living the bald life. I've been shaving it
straight bald.
Just no guard.
Whoa.
Nothing.
Savage.
I'm over it. So yeah,
I told Kelly that. I said if that ever happens to me, it's gone.
Like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing all this. Gone. I saw a commercial. For the most ridiculous fucking thing I've ever seen. And we enlist laugh about it every time it comes on. It's like this hat. It's literally a hat with lasers in it. And it's like the corniest commercial. This lady's like sitting on her couch. She's like, yeah, I just sit on my couch and I put my hat on. It fixes my hair loss. I'm like, I'm not ever going to do this.
Oh, it's for hair loss. I was like, what's the lasers for? I'm so confused.
Yeah, I'm just like, I am just shave it. Don't care. Like, get rid of it all. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to be like that from here on out, I think. Just gonna keep
I'm
it
with
short.
you. Man, I don't get the concept of trying to save something that's obviously. It's like there is science and God that does not want you to have the hair anymore, man. You just need to let it go. Let it go. It's just hair. It's not like an organ or something. It's your hair.
That's
Let it
freaking
rip.
funny.
That's so funny, man. But it's
yeah.
crazy. Are you guys enjoying time at home?
Yeah, Duncan likes it for sure.
Dude,
we've been trying to leave him
dogs.
here and there just to like, I don't want him to get like separation anxiety or something. So we've been,
Right.
still trying to leave him and go out to parks or something and do stuff without him. So that way he's not just like attached to us, but he's been totally fine. It's been nice.
I'm sure he loves it. I was gonna say.
I do like the saving aspect. I'm not going to lie. But I really miss, like, I haven't had a burger out in forever. We love
you guys
going
not been doing like takeout or anything?
We've been doing takeout, like here and there. Like we like Thai food. We'll get some. Like there's this mom and pop, like the definition of a mom and pop Thai place right downtown, and like those little businesses are who I feel for the most. Like they're the ones that are probably bleeding out. Whereas like Home Goods, like I mentioned, they're a corporation. They're just like, all right, let's tighten the belt a little bit and hold on, but we're gonna be fine. Whereas these people are like, this is like our family business. Like this is all we got. So it's
100%.
We've been doing takeout like on places like that and not really like supporting chains and stuff. But yeah, it is what it is.
It's weird. I know for me, what really hit home to me was, and this isn't a small mom and pop, which is way worse. But we have a B-Dubs in downtown. It's like a bike ride from our house.
Okay.
Like downtown Elmhurst, and it's kind of like what you and John used to do. Me and Kelly used to go like, it was like every Wednesday we'd go for like boneless Wednesdays and get like a beer and just some wings and just hang out. It'd be like our date night.
Yeah.
And just to like get out of the house. And we always did that because it was fun. And we got to like know all the servers and stuff. Well, I like went there. One of the first weeks I was home, I went there on a Wednesday to pick it up, and it's just so creepy. Like the whole place is pitch black.
Yeah.
And there's 3 people working, and I'm sitting there thinking like, think about all that beer they can't sell that's just sitting back there. And all the people that work there hourly, like what? I just don't know. I don't know what these people do. Like, what do you go? If you're someone who's like, I don't know what you do.
Yeah, like, think about all
one of the guys that was our server worked 2 jobs. He was like a trainer across the street at FFC, which is closed. Yeah. And then he worked there at server part-time serving, and I'm like, that's closed. So what do you do?
I mean, you go on unemployment and you collect your fat stimulus thing from COVID, right? And these people are making
Did you guys get that yet?
We got that. I'm talking like the stimulus, like $600 a week you can get on unemployment now, like on top of
I didn't know that.
Oh my gosh. Oh, unemployment gives you like anywhere based on what you make, right? Like $200 or $300 a week, which is like, that would really fucking suck. But with the stimulus thing, you add 6 to that. So now you're at like $800-900 a week. I'm like, Jesus, that's like almost $2,000 every 2 weeks. Like people are making more on that than they are at their jobs.
See, I had heard something about that, and I just don't like. What does that do? Like are people are gonna? I mean, I guess when the stimulus thing expires, it won't be worth it. So maybe that's the point. But
that's right.
That makes sense.
That only runs till like July or something, and then that goes away, and then it's just back to unemployment, which should motivate people to get the fuck back to work because you're not going to live off of $300 a week. Well, I mean, anyone maybe you can, but whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll only go for another month or so. But yeah, I don't know, dude. That'd suck. Like I said, I feel for the small business guys because they're dying.
What about the place your family owns? Doesn't your family still own that hot dog place?
Yeah, my grandpa, he passed away, but now my aunt runs it with my cousins, and they've been booming.
Oh, like, really?
I think there's a lot of local support in that area. Like it's not here; it's in another city, but I think the people just love that business, and they knew my grandpa, and so like they've still been busy. So I think they're doing.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. I know. I asked Andrew the same question. This was, when I interviewed him like a month ago, and it was funny because they had a good idea. Because I asked him like, you're in a small ass town in the middle of Indiana. Like, how is on earth are any of these restaurants? I mean, like they're already not busy,
right?
You know what I mean? Like if they have a busy Friday night, like they probably, I would assume Friday and Saturdays are literally what make them get by.
Yeah.
Like and he said that all of the major like manufacturing plants in that general area. Oh
yeah, he was saying it on the podcast, wasn't he?
Yeah. They like switched, and then like today the whole plant is ordering from like this little Mexican place.
Yeah, that's
the Mexican
awesome.
place would cater the whole plant, and it would like make them. It would last cash wise for like weeks.
See, that's awesome. That's a good community thing. But I was thinking too about like what's so hot right now are the breweries.
Yeah,
these breweries got nothing to do with these huge kegs. The beer's just going to go bad. I mean, you can only dish out so many growlers.
Right.
Like, sure, that's great, but how many people are going to A, go and buy a growler? Like, sometimes people don't like doing that. And B, it's not going to come anywhere near the bar lined with people Friday and Saturday night just pounding beers.
No way.
That
I
beer's just
was
going to go
joking
bad.
with my neighbors because I have a neighbor around the corner who owns Elmhurst Brewing Company, which is like the one major brewery in our little downtown area.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't know. I would almost see if there's a way you could like sell them to people. Like I would put one in my house if I could get like a cake. If I could get something like a tap and a thing, that'd be so cool. Just like, I'll support it.
That's true.
But I don't know if legally they can or what the deal is. But because I had read an article about how, everyone's been talking about the alcohol industry has been just booming through this because everyone's drinking so much more.
It's like, yeah, what the hell else are you going to do?
What are you going to do? But then I was reading that, and I don't know if you have a similar thing at Toyota, but like in the food industry, it's exactly the same where right before the coronavirus hit, like all the alcohol companies were stocking all these restaurants and bars up for the two biggest drinking holidays of the year, St. Patty's Day and March Madness. And so apparently like they all are just sitting on so much beer, like most of these major restaurants and stuff, that now like, Budweiser and all these major domestic brands are having to like pay to buy it back. It's like part of their deal is like, they don't have, it's like they kind of own it until it's sold.
Yeah, but maybe they like own the kegs until they're tapped kind of thing or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But they were just saying how like, yes, their sales were through the roof, but now they're going to end up paying for it in damages, like swell or damage allowances.
Oh, yeah.
Because, which I'm like, oh, fuck, I didn't think of that. And that's what I was thinking, like, yeah, they should. I mean, it'd be cool if like some of these towns or cities would let us like, I was telling Kelly, like, I would love to like go, it's beautiful out today. It's like 65. I would like go cruise downtown and like, I don't know, grab a couple beers and go walk around.
Yes.
Like, they should let us do that stuff. You know what I mean? Like social distance, but like walk with like a couple beers in my hand and make that okay in public to like walk around with some beers and just like support the businesses.
I know. I saw a meme like that. It was like, at least relax the open intox laws if you're going to keep us from like sitting together. It's like, yeah, seriously, I could just cruise around town with a beer in my hand walking around would be great. But
right. I don't know. And I got to wonder too. I would think the cops have to be so bored. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yes.
But I just think there's no who's out like speeding and like who's road rage right now? There's no one on the road. Yeah. Where are you going that you're in that big of a rush?
And B, the cop's probably gonna see you go flying by at 90 and be like, I don't really want to breathe on this guy, and I don't want him to breathe on me.
Yeah, I don't want to breathe on him, and I don't want to breathe on me. Yeah. Have fun, buddy. Good luck wherever the hell you're headed. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine. The only thing that could be up, but again, where the hell are you going is like drunk driving. Like,
yeah.
No,
like,
but where are you going? You're not like at a bar. I don't know.
Yeah, like we're boozing more at the house, but I'll tell you what, I'm not about to just like get in my car. Like I'm going to bed.
Right. Yeah. Literally.
Like it's
going to bed.
Not going far.
That is so true. Oh, it's so weird. If you had a bet, how long do you think this will go? Like, it's such a blurry answer, but like, how long do you think it's till like we can meet up and go to Dave Matthews Band?
Oh man,
something like that, like a concert altogether.
This whole phases thing, like for Michigan at least, like I think we're in phase 3. It's a 6-phase program or whatever the hell our governor is trying to say about like getting back to normalcy. But like, I can't imagine like, okay, right now our stay at home order for Michigan is until May 28th. Okay. Let's just say best case May 28th comes and they're like, all right, let's start relaxing. It's still going to be so slow. I feel like let's call it, that'll be phase 4. So we'll call it phase 4 will take us through June, maybe phase 5 through July, and then phase 6 August. And maybe by like Labor Day, we're back to like, I don't know, like even a concert sounds crazy right now to me.
Doesn't it?
Like, I'm not so worried. Like, and I think we're young. And if I had it, like, did I tell you Michael had it?
No, he actually got it.
Yeah. He got it, and he suffered for like a couple weeks, but then he was fine. So I'm like, if that kid,
but not hospitalized or anything.
No, I was like, okay. That kid treats his body.
Wow, that's scary. He's the first person I've actually heard of for sure had it.
Yeah, and he treats his body like a dumpster fire. I'm like, all right, if he can beat that, like I am totally.
Does he?
Safe.
I thought he worked out a lot.
Yeah, he's like fit, but he eats Doritos and like just. Anyway, I digress.
Okay.
So I'm
Sorry,
saying like, yeah, by me. So like by, I'm not that worried about it, but still what I'm trying to say is like, even that being said, going to a concert right now and being like touching shoulder to shoulder with a ton of people, even if it's outside, it's like, it kind of sketches me out a little bit. Like, right. I don't know. It shouldn't, but I don't know.
It
I'm
does,
calling.
right?
I'll say September. You could maybe go to a concert.
September. All right. Okay. That's one of the more optimistic things I think I've heard. I like that. I think that would
Yeah.
be nice. I keep saying, well, it's funny, me and Kelly this year, I don't know why this year, have a like disproportionate amount of people getting married than
Yeah.
I've ever had any one year. And they're all they're
Oh.
all over in the summer, dude. And like some
Yeah.
of them decided to move it to the fall, which to be honest, I thought was a little risky. Like I had a friend that was in June, they moved to October. I mean, I would think we'd be fine, but like, I don't
Yeah.
know,
Spencer was
we
supposed
had
to get
one
married
couple that
in
moved it
June.
a whole year to June.
Yeah. Spencer's supposed to get married June 20th. That's next month. And they had to move it. So they were going to move it to the fall, but then none of the other shit was available. Like if the venue was available, then the photographer wasn't, or the DJ wasn't, or blah, blah, blah,
What a
which
mess.
I know, not miss that at all.
Oh.
But so they ended up moving it from June of 2020 to July of 21.
Oh, wow.
Like, dude,
Yeah.
he's so over it. Like, he's just
I
like,
bet.
dude, I can't.
And at that point, you're like, if it's May, you're like, okay, we're almost there. Like,
Yeah.
we want to just enjoy this damn thing because it's so stressful. That's such a bummer.
And then
That sucks.
Lissa's best friend, her older brother, is supposed to get married, I think in May sometime. And they sent us a letter saying like, you know, we're gonna move the date, and we're like, all right, that makes sense, so we get it.
Yeah.
And then, but then all of a sudden they were like, yo, we're coming home and we're getting married with just our family. We'll do a party like next year or something.
Oh, damn.
And I was like, oh, I'm like thinking like, when has Spencer ever thought of that? Like,
yeah, I have some friends that are doing like, I think they're doing like the small thing, and then they're gonna have a second full wedding though later. I was like,
I would
God,
consider
this is-
just going to the courthouse and getting her done with the family, and then maybe keep the same invite list, but then just like rent
Yeah.
out some banquet hall in a year, and like you don't even have to dress up if you don't want to. Like, let's just
Yeah.
all party. Like, and
right. Let's just throw a bash and do something. Yeah, I'm
like
with you.
I could be down with that. But I mean,
right.
I don't know. Some people are all
That's what I
about
was
their
thinking
wedding.
about.
It's
I
their
mean,
big
they
day, and
moved,
they want to be
like,
perfect, and they don't want to move it.
right. Like I met one of my friends, like I said, the one that moved from June to October. I was like, shit, it's like a 350 person wedding. And I was like, I don't know, October? Like,
I don't.
I didn't want to say that to him, but I was like, 350 people and we're in May. I don't know. At this rate, the rate it's going, I don't know if that's going to be allowed. I don't know. That's crazy to think. I told Kelly, I'm throwing my towel into this whole COVID thing if football gets canceled. If college and NFL football gets canceled, I'm done. I'm done.
I mean, at this rate,
yeah,
it might. I don't know.
I know, right? Or can you imagine an NFL game with no fans?
I mean, all the other sports are not happening with no fans, so I don't think NFL would happen with no fans. Like,
you're right.
It's fucked.
Did you see though? The UFC is still fighting.
Are they?
Oh yeah, you haven't seen this?
They
did I saw a thing on it. Joe Rogan was like commentating.
How
they
is
did
that?
they
like,
did
you're
it like
punching me in the face. You're probably within 6 feet.
Yeah. So no, they have to do the test. So they both tested before, and then they're allowed in, and the ref is tested. They all like 3 of them are tested same day. Yeah. And then they had like just Joe and one other guy, and they were both tested. And so
I'd call that safe then.
I'm like, how cool is that?
That's safe. But then, yeah, that's a much bigger scale when you talk about a whole football team.
I know.
So it's
it's like almost impossible.
Yeah,
it's so crazy. I know it's all like who knows and this and that, but it's wild to think. I think it's funny to think when I was in Punta Cana in February, I remember sitting at like the pool bar talking to the bartenders, and like Kelly's family was all there. And we were just talking about like, wow, it's so weird. It's funny, and I'm not just saying this now to say it. I was like hot on this topic though in like December when it was kind of ticking up in China. I remember telling Kelly, like, you know how many people travel from China to the US? Like,
oh yeah.
Tell me that there's no way that like if it's respiratory, it's not gonna like get spread on a plane and come here. I remember at that time, like it was hard. Like Kelly wasn't really. She's like, whatever. It's something over in China, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. I've always did this like pandemic type stuff, and then it happened. I remember coming back, and it was crazy because then we got sick, and I mean, I was like down for the count for a week. Like I don't even think I looked at my phone. I was so sick. And then the day that I felt better, my parents were on a freaking plane to Kenya.
Oh,
did I tell you this? They were like they ended up flying to Kenya. They were on their flight from Minneapolis to where'd they fly into? Paris. And they were literally halfway over the ocean when Trump came out and announced like the European travel ban. Oh, dude, it was a disaster. So I was trying to get a hold of my parents through text, And like, of course, they're trying to have fun. They're like trying to have drinks and everything. And then it turned into this whole thing. My mom was all upset on the plane because she's like, "Oh my God, their trip to Africa's like screwed now. What do we do?" They ended up actually like going to Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
They only there for like 3 days, and then they got on the like one of the last planes that came from Paris back to the U.S. It was a mess, dude.
Oh
But
my gosh.
long story short, yeah,
Yeah.
it was crazy.
Melissa's dad flies to China all the time for work.
Oh, that's right.
He's like pretty much gone every week, like from a different country. Like he's all over the place. But I mean, they put a halt to that before all this, and no impact or anything. But just like same to your point, people fly from China all the time.
Oh, it's
like
they were, when people compare it to like other pandemics, I'm like, no one was traveling like they do today. Like it's just like so nonchalant to travel like across the globe for work anymore. Like, it's just not that big of a thing.
I do not want to be in a plane right now. I'll tell you that. Good Lord.
No, it'd be a mess. How's everything going with just like in general with automotive? I'm sure I have a neighbor who owns a dealership, and I mean, you talk to him because I'm sure like I don't know who's buying a car these days. I'm sure that's just tough,
I'm sure Carvana's doing hot. Like if you really wanna buy a car, you just can't possibly wait, but you don't want to go into somewhere, then that'd be your ticket. But yeah, I mean, we're not selling shit. I mean, our service stuff's open just because like you gotta get maintenance and whatever. But
right. I literally have a Toyota appointment on Thursday, so thank you for change my oil in my car, man.
We went in this morning actually because we took a rock to the windshield, and then of course neglected it, and it turned into like half the windshield was cracked. So I'm like, you know what, we should make an appointment. So we we got it done. Like they came to our house and fixed the glass, and they were like, oh, just you got to go get your cruise control recalibrated because of the radar. Like that's mounted up in the like behind your mirror.
Oh, I actually didn't know that, but
so I was like, oh, sure, let's go do it. And then we get down there, and he's like, is there a message on the dash? I'm like, no. Someone just said once you get your windshield replaced, you do it. He's like, oh, if there's no message, you're good. I'm like, that's cool.
Lovely.
Got up early, skipped my workout, drove 25 minutes for this. Appreciate it. I will see you in a
Thanks,
month.
man. Appreciate it. That's so frustrating.
Yeah.
How are you guys exercising? You guys?
Oh God, so limp. Just the
Do you have stuff at the house? Or are you going somewhere?
No, it's pure body weight, and we go. I'd have to give you like a tour sometime of our house.
Yeah, let's say we got to do a tour.
I know, and so like at the end of the hallway on the older side of the house, that we have 2 spare bedrooms that are across from each other. We're literally standing in the bedrooms, looking at each other through the doorway, and I'm calling out what the workout is.
You gotta take a video of this. This will be funny a decade from now.
At the very least, I will say that her cousins are personal trainers, and they're out of work right now. So they wrote up a plan and sent it out. So they've been doing like
cool
different stuff each day. And so it's like, it's fine, but it's just like, man, I was doing so good with my deadlifts. Like I was really progressing and stuff. And then this is just.
Yeah, dude. It's not good.
Whatever. We're staying healthy, so I can't really complain. It's not like we're. Like the first couple of weeks of quarantine though, it was dark over here. We weren't doing shit, and we were eating bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like I remember at first, like just the booze, the food. I was like, fuck it, like what is there to lose at this point? Just let it all go now, man.
It's so true. We came out of the gate so hot in January. Like we had this whole mindset.
Oh, did you?
Like, we were gonna finally hit beach season with something that looks nice. Basically, because that never happens ever.
Love it. Never know.
Sidetracked. I'm like, we're gonna do it, and we were like coming in hot. Weights were dropping. We were doing so well, and then this hit, and it was like literally 2 weeks of baking cakes and cookies because we were bored, and then eating them. It's like, okay,
damn it. You're like,
one Sunday we were like,
coronavirus.
What the hell are we doing?
What are we doing? We gotta get our life back together. I figured maybe you were training for a marathon now or something. Out running.
Negative. Nope, I'll do my 5K every year for John with no training.
Love it. Yeah, we need to talk about that off of this. I want to see if there's a way. I don't know when you're planning on doing it with all this stuff, but I want to make sure we can come.
I know it's supposed to be in July, and I think Roberta was going to actually come and William this year, but now it's like, I mean, July even seems sketchy at this point. Like, are they going to get on a plane? I have no idea.
Right. Oh, true.
But I'll let you know. I'll definitely keep you in the loop. Yeah.
Yeah. I know, but you should check out. I was going to say. Do you know Peloton, like the bike?
Oh yeah. Dude, those are intense.
Have you done them? Like they're free for 3 months. The app, like they have an app. I was going to tell you they have an app you can get on like a phone, iPad, computer, and they have like free weight and like minimal weight like workout classes, just like the bike, and they're giving people 3 free months while you're stuck at home. And me and Kelly did one the other day. It was crazy hard. I was dying. And they're like 30 minutes.
Okay. And is it just like push-ups, like all body weight stuff?
Yeah, all body weight stuff. And it's kind of like some of it's kind of goofy stuff that I'm like, what are we doing? And then I'll do it. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. It's like muscles I haven't used in forever. You should check it out though. It's cool. That's like a really good one that we found. That
her folks bought, it's not Peloton, Echelon.
Oh, nice.
Like, it's like the same thing.
Yeah.
Man, I was like dogging on it because like anytime I'd ever rode a bike, like in the gym, like I know you actually bike. I don't like bike for distance, but I'm just talking like in a gym setting bike. I'll do it to warm up, and even that, it's like 10 minutes on a bike doesn't get me like 10 minutes jogging. Like it never did anything for me. I'm like, I don't understand the appeal. But then when you have that lady telling you what to do and stand and sit and super hard, turn your resistance up, turn it down, dude, 20 minutes, I'm like, I came out of the
drenched.
Pool. Oh
yeah. Yeah, insane. Like stationary bike workouts with a coach or like that type of thing to me are some of the sweatiest workouts I've ever had.
Oh God,
yeah, crazy.
Newfound appreciation for that.
Absolutely,
for sure.
Yeah. It's like so interesting all the creativity we have to find in these days. Oh man,
I got a good one for you. So recently, this is finance related.
Oh, cool. Here we go. Good thing to end on because I got to go in a few minutes.
Yeah, I do too. So, the lease program at Toyota is pretty hot. Like, we get they throw your insurance in with the vehicle. So like when it's all bundled up and comes right out of your paycheck, it's really not much. And you get way more miles than you'll ever put on a car. And the amount of time, you get like 30,000 miles a year. It's like, Jesus.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. It's awesome. It's a great program, especially for the Tacoma, because we just make so many effing Tacomas. Like they're hot. People love them. They're selling, and they want their employees to lease them. And the more the more stuff you accessorize them, the cheaper your monthly payment is because their resale just goes up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like, I won't say the number, but we're getting a good deal right now, but then we want to upgrade to a 4Runner. We're going to get like a new one. Like I think I was telling you about it. And I was like, all right, we're going to trade in, but the increase in pay is pretty high. And we were, talking about moving soon, which that went away anyway. But I was thinking, I've always been the own, don't lease guy. Like that's what I did with my truck, right? But then here I am leasing this thing. Yeah. So we had this whole conversation. I made this spreadsheet and I'm like trying to figure out, I'm like, all right, does it really make sense? Like, so anyway, the point of all this just to say is like, we're going to probably turn this one in and then buy a used 4Runner and try and pay that off. And then at the time that that's paid off, that'll probably be, maybe do like a 4-year loan or something like that. Try and pay that off. And then at that time we'll have, a 4Runner sitting in the driveway that we could sell for 10 or 12 grand when it comes time to like move on our next house. So like,
love it. There you go. Good plan.
That's the mindset.
That's awesome.
Back to not leasing, but
yeah. I mean, I don't know what the details are, but I know just in general, leases always seem to be, they can be kind of a money suck and then you don't own anything at all. So it's
you're just like, it's good if you want like the latest and greatest technology, but you're never going to own it. And I told her too, like, once we get, if I get to manager level, they give you like a stipend every month.
Oh, cool.
Like at that point, sure. Like it definitely makes more sense to do it that way. But until then, let's just own this thing. So
definitely. That's awesome, man. That's sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a 4Runner. I love it.
I can't wait.
A beast, man. It's been great. Nice to have. Yeah. And of course, it was funny. We got it like a little bit early than we really wanted to because we were worried last winter the snow was so bad. Kelly was driving this rear-wheel drive car. Yep. And so we got this and then it like never snowed. I think we had like one day where it like was like bad enough where the 4Runner made sense. Literally. And it was like Halloween. It was Halloween.
Yeah.
We got like an ice snowstorm on Halloween. But anyway, great cars and it'll last forever, I think. So we're planning on just paying ours off and like I think we're gonna plan on it's gonna be my kid's car someday.
Yeah.
Just like run that baby into the ground.
We'll probably end up holding on to it too if we buy this next one.
Because they're such good cars.
Oh, they're awesome. And honestly, here's some info. We're over-spec'd on everything. So they'll last forever.
Love it. That's great. That's fantastic. That's awesome, man. Well, cool, buddy. Well, thanks for coming on. I got to run. I apologize. But it was great having you on and catching up, man. This has been fun.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I got to run too.
Do it again. Maybe we can do another one over beer sometime.
I'm in. We should just catch up anyway.
This is way more nonchalant, and I had more fun on this than I've had on the other one. So I appreciate you doing it, man.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, buddy. Well, thanks for listening, everybody, and we will post this shortly. So thanks for listening, and have a good one.